Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Body. We are approaching my favorite time of year, the holidays, the winter holidays, fall winter holidays. I love it so much about it. I am the ultimate basic bitch, loving everything pumpkin, pumpkin smells, pumpkin flavors, pumpkin. I love it. I cannot have enough.
I love it too. I think these holidays brings, I don't know, I just feel like family, home, peace. I love it. I love it so much.
Love it so much for all of that reason. And then also I love it because of all the parties and all the social events. And it's just one of my favorite times where you just are joyful and you are around the people that you love the most. And I think that's so fun. But
Fun and dangerous.
What we want to talk about today is how to keep your health and fitness goals on track while enjoying the holiday season and while not feeling like you have to sacrifice all the progress you've made or attending any parties or social events or enjoying the foods that you like, right?
Yes. I always say that we do our diet, our workouts, our cardio during the days for those moments, right? It's why we always active, we always eating health, drinking our water, so we can enjoy those moments without to be worried about it. Beside Andrea that has a competition that if she gonna have anything, she gonna kind of fix on her plan. But for us, we need to have the freedom to enjoy those moments, so everything gonna worth it all the time at the gym, all the nose during the week. Gonna worth it if you can go and enjoy a good food with family, friends, some drinks. But we need to be careful because we now have Thanksgivings, Friendsgivings. You see as the whole week of celebrations, meetings, dinners. And it's when we can lose control and overdo it.
Exactly. And so we have 4 pieces of advice or topics, I should say, that we want to go over that can hopefully help you get to thinking how you can maximize your holiday season, but also not lose progress, not lose your momentum, not lose your peace of mind, and also be able to have the best time. The first piece of advice is to enjoy. Enjoy the holiday season because like you just said, we work to do all of these things, to sacrifice, foods, to sacrifice outings, to do cardio, to go to the gym all the time, all year long. And this is one time of the year where we should be able to sit back and say, okay, I'm going to let my foot off the brake a little bit. I'm going to be able to attend these events, eat like everybody else is, enjoy the foods that are being offered and not have to worry too much that I'm going to set myself back, right? It's such a joyful, fun season that enjoying it guilt-free is like the first thing that we want you to do. But after we're enjoying it, or I should say during the time we're enjoying it, we do want to sort of consider like how we can optimize these social events while doing the best we can to not derail our progress so much. So the first one is going to be to keep your food on track, meaning let's say for Thanksgiving dinner, for example, and this is something that I practice. So this is why I'm going to give it as an example. Thanksgiving dinner is my favorite. My show ends before Thanksgiving for a reason, because I want to be free to eat all my favorite foods on Thanksgiving night. I love my mom and my sister's cookings. It's something I wouldn't want to miss for the world. And so I will indulge. I will. So what I do during the day is to make sure I prioritize protein and make sure I consume not very many calories, meaning I will wake up and I will have a high protein breakfast. I will have something, a light lunch, like a salad with some protein on it. And that way, by the time I get to my sister's house, I'm ready to enjoy some appetizers and dinner and desserts and cocktails without having overconsumed so many calories during that day.
And that is very, very important you say that, because first, when we are in this kind of event, we don't eat too much protein. You have it here and there, but our focus are all the delicious dish. And yes, protein is not the focus. especially for you. For me, I still have the turkey, right? But
Yeah.
but even I do have. I'm the sweetness girl, so I'm going for the pies, for everything tasting. Watch out what you're eating before. It's very smart decision. So I don't mean fasted yourself because that is never gonna be a good solution. But prioritize your protein, so you're gonna make sure your protein the day is gonna be intake, and don't eat too much carbs. Let your carbs for the goodness. And do you have idea that a piece of brownie has 1500 calorie? So I'm using an example, but any pie, any dish is gonna have a lot. So it's so easy. Even you don't eat a lot of in quantity, you're gonna eat a lot of calorie. So it is smart. You don't have your, let's say, 2000, 1800 calorie that you normally do during the day, and then go for the dinner and have 2000 more. Try to not starve yourself, but make the best choice before you go to any kind of celebration like that, because it's not kind of go for a dinner. It is a special time that you're not gonna only eat. You're gonna eat, you're gonna drink, you're gonna talk, you're gonna eat again. So I think it's a very, very good and a smart decision when you decide to watch before and after your macros, for sure.
And I think that you made a really good important point. Like, don't starve yourself. That's not the point. We're not saying don't, accumulate all these calories the day of or days leading up to the event just so you can gorge that night. But it's important that you manipulate your diet a little bit where it's in a healthy way, where you're just managing your calories for that day or leading up to that day. And then that way you can just enjoy a little bit more guilt-free. Along those lines, when you're at the event, and of course, we're speaking from experience. So
For sure.
I am the person I'm talking to, along with anybody who this relates to too. But I am tending to choose foods that are like higher in fat, or foods, I guess I should say, that I don't allow myself to eat on a regular basis. So that's
For
why
sure.
people could overindulge in like appetizers. Like I like a lot of appetizers, or like a ton of mashed potatoes with butter and cream and all that stuff in it, or just things that you don't really give yourself like permission to eat on a normal basis. During these events, all those foods are in abundance, right? So if you're a little bit more mindful about how you eat, what you're eating, I think that that's important, because again, you don't want to rack up thousands of calories just shoveling all these foods in your face. But if you can go, like when I would eat animal products, I would go and I would have like a couple deviled eggs, but it's an egg, it's a protein. So you have a little bit of that. And I'm like, okay, that's good protein for me. Or I choose just some healthier options to munch on, like fruit, if there's a fruit platter. And I start with that first to kind of get the feeling of like eating, like out of like the anticipation, of like having access to all these foods out of the way. I start with those options. They like help coat my stomach a little bit, or I'll have a protein shake before. And that way I'm not just deep diving into all the foods that are probably the worst for you. So the third one, actually the first one was enjoy. The second one is just to sort of prepare and plan and attack the event, the food, with consideration. The third one is to get back on track right after the event. And I don't think we mean like one and done, Thanksgiving dinner and then that's it. But take some time to get back on track in between the events if you have multiple events, or between the holidays.
Yeah, I think the smart decision is don't keep the food for yourself. So if the event is in your house, you give it for your friends, your family. Don't leave the food in there, because if you have, you're gonna eat in the next day, and the other day until the food is gone. So, or put in the freezer for another special time, because it is like when I want to eat something, I go for the restaurant to eat instead to make it most of the time. Because if I make it at home, I'm going to eat everything. If I'm going to the restaurant, if I'm full, I'm not going to bring home. That is the rule that I put myself.
I literally think that is the best piece of advice you can give. And I didn't even think about that, but it is absolutely true. I love Thanksgiving, like I mentioned. And so when I was younger, my mom used to give me all of these leftovers, and I would eat them for a week, every single breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because I loved it so much. But now I don't let her give me leftovers. I'm like, no, thank you, because I will fucking eat it. I will eat everything. That is the best piece of advice. And if you're having it at your house, get rid of the food, give it to your guests to take home.
Yes, because you are a human being, and it is the temptation over there that maybe we can be strong enough to say no. I'm not strong enough to say no. I know myself better, so I don't have. In my house, I try to have pretty much what I'm allowed to eat. Thank God my husband now is eating better. And especially on the holidays, that is special food. It's not the food that you can go to the market and get it, go to the grocery and come back. No, it's the mom food. It is the friends or whatever made it in once a year. So you're gonna look and it's like, oh, all these skills is gonna sound so good. Just eat because only next year again. And if you didn't get fat on the Thanksgiving night, if you have the leftover, you're gonna get fat on this other's day because you're gonna keep eating. So yeah.
Great advice. And I also think that we have like a tendency to give ourselves a pass during the holidays. So it's like, okay, Thanksgiving comes and we have Thanksgiving dinner or a friend's Thanksgiving before or after. And then you kind of give yourself a pass to just sort of like eat whatever you want going forward through Hanukkah, through Christmas, through New Year's, right? And then after New Year's, we want to get back on track. But a lot of damage could be done in that time. So I like the sense of after the event, don't take any leftovers, remove any foods from your house if you hosted the event. And the next morning, while you'll still probably feel bloated, and I would not weigh yourself, but like you'll just feel like, like you indulged the night before, like make a good decision for breakfast. Go back to your standard, typical, healthy breakfast. For us, it would be a bowl of oats, protein oats, or cream of rice. And then like start to feed your body the healthy foods again. And as soon as you do that, make that next good decision food wise, you're going then to hopefully continue making those decisions. If you wake up and we'll talk about alcohol in a second, but if you wake up and you're hungover and you're like bloated from the food and all you're going to want to do is keep eating shitty food, right? Because it's like triggering your brain to just want to like feed it with that.
And those pounds that you're making so far is still water, but if you keep eating, it's going to become fat. And also, it's so important drink water. And I know for us who drink a lot of water, sounds like water. I know people who doesn't drink water.
Oh, me too.
A lot of people. It is so important how we gonna clean up our body. All those extra sugar, fat, alcohol, and everything. Have some electrolytes as well, especially if you drink the night before. The intention is put your body back to work. Because after all these extra, you're gonna feel kind of lazy. Your stomach is made kind of upset because, different food, a lot of food. So yes, back on track, your food like nothing happened before.
It takes a lot of discipline to go from that. Then the next day to be like, okay, pulling my shit back, getting my shit together, gonna be healthy, gonna be on track. Like nothing's changed until the next event.
And in Brazil, we are lucky because it's summer around this time. So we don't have Thanksgiving, but we have Christmas. But we are so like in summer party, beach, and looking good. We don't wanna. Here, it's cold. It's so easy. Put a big, nice jacket, a coat, like whatever. I'm gonna enjoy this season. And then when you take off the jacket, you see how terrible things are inside.
You always say you build your summer body in the winter. So
exactly,
this is what we're doing.
Why you gonna live your life as, oh, whatever, bring the food, it's a holiday? No, that it's not gonna bring to you your happiness, right? You're given skills, you are trying to pretend, and now you start to drink more, and you start to care less. And then, my dear, the summer coming, the new year coming. Do you think the gym, the time that the gym is most packed is January?
Right after the new year.
Because everyone's like, eat, drink. No, that is not your best life. Your best life is fuel your life and the function good. And definitely when you eat too much and drink too much, you're not going to live your best. And I'm not even tell about outside, I mean inside.
Yeah, exactly. And so the fourth and final one is around alcohol and how to enjoy alcohol, but not let it derail you as well. Because this is probably
It's your problem.
This is my problem.
It's not my problem at all. My problem is
I walk into the house and I'm like, somebody give me some wine, a glass of wine. Yes, please and thank you. But no, I do love to indulge in alcoholic beverages during social events. I love it. I do. I think most of us probably
Yes.
do. I don't want to make a blanket statement, but we like drinking, and alcohol consumption around the holidays is really high. And also alcohol consumption is where we potentially get the most amount of the calories consumed during that time.
That is the thing. As the sweetness I mentioned about the brownie that I said that has a lot of calorie in the little piece is the same with the alcohol. It's so easy to lose control when you're drinking and enjoying. You know, you're not gonna feel full. You're gonna feel happy and happier. And I'm the owner of the world. And I know because I do love alcohol, not as much as you. I prefer my pie if I need to choose. But yes, I do also. When we start, we start. So we don't count. We just want to have fun. But it's when we can put like 2,000-3,000 calories easily. If it's a cocktail, woo.
Well, and I think that there's ways to mitigate the amount of calories you consume and still be able to indulge in alcohol. So it's just about being mindful about the kinds of drinks that you're choosing. That could be one. So there are drinks like any sort of liquor with soda water and a twist, lime or lemon. That could be a less caloric option. I love wine. I know there's about 125 calories in a glass of wine. So one way that I try to mitigate drinking so much is I will mix wine with like sparkling water sometimes, depending on whatever ratio I want. So it's like giving me the feel and allowing me to hold a glass and feel like I'm getting, like I'm drinking, but also helping to hydrate me at the same time and not consuming as much of the alcohol.
But I hope you cannot take 10 glasses of wine in a night.
Well, I probably could,
Oh
but
my
I won't.
gosh.
I won't. It's been a while, but I probably could put it down. But another thing is about the wine is I usually don't let people refill my glass. So like if I have a little bit, you probably can't see it, but if I have like a little bit of wine in here, I will like wait to finish the wine before I pour another one.
So you have idea.
Exactly.
That is a good point.
So I'm not just like putting more and more and more and more and then not having any idea of how much I'm consuming.
See, I just learned something. That is smart because you're right. When you lose the control, it's when you're done.
I know. So that's one part of it. Another part of it is that when we drink, we tend to lose control or we just don't really give a shit about things anymore. So then we're likely to overconsume food as well during that time, right? Because we're drinking and we think we're hungry and like all our inhibitions kind of go away. We forget that we're on this like track to, be healthy and like, manage our diets, and we just eat mindless eating calories that we probably wouldn't consume otherwise.
Yes, it's the conversation around the food and the alcohol that we not even think. We just are talking, eat something, I'll get bored, it's a little bit more and talking. It's when you need to pay attention. But again, if you do everything right, and if you go for, okay, I want to drink more, eat less sweetness, make sure you're going to make the best choice for yourself and enjoy. We are not saying like, oh, you should have only this. You don't should do that. No, enjoy it. But I see how important you have everything before and after done good so you can enjoy the present moment.
The last thing I'll say about alcohol is the next day, the day after, because I know from experience, one of the demises of any diet is being hungover. Like when I'm hungover, the last thing I want to do is cook. The last thing I want to do is eat healthy. The only thing I want to do is to have processed junk food delivered to my door as quickly as possible.
The body's craving for that, huh?
Totally. And so that's one thing that we have to consider, right? You're going to be going to these parties, these social events. If you drink, you're going to be drinking alcohol and likely you will experience a hangover. But you mentioned earlier, like electrolytes, key. Drinking water, key. These are all things that we know, of course, right? So we're not teaching you anything new, but it's like nice to be reminded. And electrolytes come so conveniently packaged now. You can buy the little packages. You can take them with you to parties and events, put them in your water, put them in your cocktail even, and start to hydrate yourself that way before the hangover even comes.
And that is gonna help a lot. And even I know you guys know, but you guys don't do it. We don't do it.
We all know we should do things, but we don't do them. Yeah.
It's just a reminder, and that you're gonna, make sure you're gonna do it. So as better you feel the next day, easier you're gonna back on track. And remember, you have a goal. And if you didn't get your goal yet, it's exactly because you are doing good. And then those times of year come and you start to open sessions and go socializing here and there, and you lose control, and then you feel like, all right, next year I'm gonna try again.
Or when you lose control, you think, okay, well, I've already lost control. I've already done it. What's the point in getting back on track?
Exactly. Like, oh my God, okay, I was looking good, but now I'm back to feel myself at the same when I started. So May I cannot do it. May is not for me. No. There's water that you're gonna hold. There's feeling the days after. It's gonna be gone if you're back on track. So remember, as soon you get to the comfortable level with yourself, with your body, more times you're gonna be free to enjoy life without to control yourself during the time. But that is going to depend a lot how much you're going to control before and after. Because being on diet is about to control everything that you're going to put in your body. Actually, we all are in diets, a good diet and a bad diet. But let's say that way. In order to get results, you need to control, and you need to make sure that you are giving, putting in your body, feeding your body with things that is gonna help you to get your goals. So holidays is not an everyday event. So you're gonna do something that you're not gonna do
the rest of the year.
Exactly. So why the next day you just, because you had a very good moment and you enjoy a lot, you're gonna keep doing it? No, back on track.
Exactly. And it's more rewarding when you do get to indulge in these events, when you know, like, you've done all the right things, that you've practiced your good diet, and that for the next event, you feel like, okay, I got this. I got it under control. I know I can enjoy myself. I know I can let loose. I know I can eat off my diet, eat off my plan, have some cocktails, and I know I can get right back to it afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I am more excited than ever for the holidays. My show will be over. I will try to keep it in control, but of course, I cannot wait to eat and drink and enjoy all the time with my friends and family.
To lose your control every day. Like, hey, I lost it.
It's
you deserve it.
Thank you.
That is the thing. When we deserve, it is different. It just feels so good to be there, enjoy.
When we've earned it, and I hate to say you kind of earn the bad food, because this is a lifestyle, and there's events and all these fun things and all these reasons to eat out and eat off plan. It's not about just eating healthy all the time. It doesn't make for a fun life, but if you work hard, it's nice to feel like you work hard, play hard, right? But in this case, you work hard and you get to enjoy hard.
Exactly. And we are human beings, even we are pretty healthy. I think I know only few people who really don't eat sugar at all, don't like it all, and that is their lifestyle. But I think as human being, we wanna, we like it. That is something that makes us happy. We just need to control and figure it out what makes you happier. Right? Be healthy and look good, or
be healthy, feel healthy, and look good too.
Yeah.
Or just do whatever you want.
Lose control and drink and eat everything.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Good.
All right.
Well, with that, we hope you all have a very happy holiday season. Of course, we'll be talking to you every week, but subscribe, share this episode with any friends or family that you think would benefit off of this, and leave questions, comments below.
Yeah, and we see you soon.
Follow us on Instagram at Behind the Bod.
Please.
And we will talk to you in the next episode of Behind the Body. Bye.